Star Ocean, the second story R, officially launches onto the Nintendo Switch on November 2nd. So the game is essentially right around the corner. And because of that, today we have brand new confirmation regarding the new Game Plus features specifically being added to this game that will essentially make it easier for you to be able to go back and see some of the cutscenes, some of the events that you might have originally missed, depending upon some of the decisions that you might have decided to do as your first playthrough. Remember that there's plenty of characters that you're going to be interacting with, plenty of story sequences that you might end up missing if you don't pick the right choice. So new Game Plus for everyone who wants to see all of the extra content the game has to offer. You're going to be able to have pretty much most of your items, as we're going to be going over in a second, being brought over to the second part of the experience. Another thing I also wanted to quickly mention is that assault actions are being added in. This is a brand new extra feature that is basically the addition of brand new cameos from characters from series past. Essentially, all the protagonists from previous Star Ocean games are going to be making an appearance here one way or another. I'm going to be trying to overlay some of those pixel art animations. You should be able to see them on the screen as they're making an appearance there. The last thing that I also want to quickly mention before we get to the new Game Plus features is the fact that if you're choosing to buy this game specifically onto the Nintendo Switch, a couple of users decided to take to Reddit to actually confirm that the game will be requiring a download if you actually buy the physical version of the game. So the cartridge only has a partial version of the game. You'll still end up requiring a couple of gigabytes. I believe they're mentioning 3 gigabytes of download to be able to have downloaded into your system because essentially the cartridge, for whatever reason, doesn't have the entirety of the game. A lot of people have pointed out that the game entirely is supposed to be 11.9 gigabytes and Square Enix could have just provided a 16 gigabyte cartridge. It seems like they provided an 8 gigabyte cartridge. Max that out, and the rest of the 3 gigabytes are going to be downloaded through basically like extra downloads or whatever. So in typical fashion, a lot of companies have decided to just kind of cheapen out and provide players with an incomplete package, and it seems like the day one batches of Star Ocean the Second Story R, at the very least on the Nintendo Switch, will be requiring a little bit of a download, which is not making a lot of players very happy. We don't necessarily know about PlayStation 5 version, but of course we presume that that version will be entirely on the disc, since discs are easier to print and cheaper as well. But essentially, going back to what I really wanted to talk about is the new Game Plus options and the brand new secrets that we were able to basically confirm through a brand new completion screen. Essentially, someone was able to beat the game, and we actually got a pretty good look at what the new Game Plus options are going to be available. This is presumably coming from a reviewer who was able to finish the game a little bit earlier than everyone else. But they also have a little bit of a description, a new description on the website as well, that simply mentions that now even easier to play, you can reach all of the different endings in Star Ocean the Second Story R. You can select New Game Plus from the title screen if you have a save file after defeating the final boss. This allows you to start a new game while carrying over some of the items and other aspects from your first playthrough. You can use a save file with either Claude or Rena as the protagonist and choose either protagonist for the new Game Plus playthrough. So like I mentioned at the top of the video, if you decided to play one character's experience, you'll be able to see the other one with ease as your items are going to carry over, at the very least most of them. First and foremost, we have confirmation that items and character stats will be carried over. Some of them happen to be the player level, so you don't necessarily reset back to level 1. Everything when it comes to SP, BP, and skill levels will also be retained. So pretty much your mana and battle points, which basically lets you choose which skills are active for each one of the characters. Acquisition of upgraded and status of skills are also going to be retained. So again, depending upon which skills you decided to upgrade and buff, those are going to be retained as well. Another things you do get to keep are weapons, armors, and accessories. So pretty much your characters will be completely decked out with their skills, their stats, and more importantly, their weapons, armors, and accessories, which if you happen to be playing the game already, you should be able to know that some of those are like you only get one per run. So now being able to bring that along with the second run and being able to kind of stack those boosts as you pick up that item a second time will be extremely beneficial. Another couple of things you do get to keep with you are FOLs, key items, and all other items. So when it comes to like certain quests that you might have where they require you to go kind of pick up an item or something along those lines, you can just kind of complete those quests right then and there. You don't really have to actually go do the quest again. This is more like facilitating aspects for you to be able to see most of the cutscenes if you happen to miss them. And because of that, the friendship levels for each one of the characters are remained. So if you didn't finish the friendship level for any one of the characters, you'll be able to stack upon that as you start a brand new playthrough and basically stack up on those friendship points and max it out easier than ever before. Another one of the things you get to bring over is the completion rate of all encyclopedias. So of course, items, monsters, everything along those lines, skills, magic, spells, whatever the case is, all of those will be remaining the same. You can just stack up on those with whatever new monsters or maybe a dungeon or so you might have missed. Certainly plenty of optional content available in this game. Aspects that will not be carried over though, so they do specifically clear up which ones will not be able to travel over. Unlocking status of fast travel points, so pretty much limiting you from being able to kind of like get to the final boss from the first beginning of the game. Of course, you're gonna have to play through the story events again, and you're unlocking travel points as you make forward. So pretty much get through city from city to city in the same way that you did in your first playthrough. Cyanide acquisition status are also being reset completely, and this one I'm a little bit surprised that they decided to do that, because in just like friendship levels, it's kind of like beneficial to just be able to keep those, but it is what it is. Private action progress is also going to be reset again, kind of like friendship levels. This one I think they should have kind of just kept it there, but it makes sense if you're going to be progressing them. Once again, especially if you want to max out those friendships, you should be able to see those cutscenes again. Treasure chest and acquisition status. So this is pretty much goes back to you being able to keep already one copy of the items that you already have. This assures that you're going to be able to get, at the very least, when it comes to treasure items, a second copy of that item. So again, you can stack up those buffs or maybe get that really good experience ring booster, basically carry that over to another character, and you'll be good to go. Key items related to the story and some other items. Of course, while it does mention that most of the items you're going to be able to keep, there will be some that the game kind of locks you out of. You have to obtain it again, so you essentially have to do those quests in one way or another. Status of pickpocket usage. So that pretty much resets right back from 0, and you're going to be able to pickpocket to your heart's content, or choose not to. I believe that is an achievement on the PlayStation 5 version of the game. I'm not necessarily sure what they're doing with achievements on the Nintendo Switch. And lastly, which arts and spells are equipped. So this is something that you're most likely going to be choosing to kind of reset on your own, and maybe certainly if you decide to kind of like sort out your character in a different fashion and sort out their skills in a different setting, or maybe focus on a couple of different spells or skills, you're going to be able to have those adjustments made on the fly as you get to keep them. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today regarding Star Ocean, the second story R. Not only with, of course, the brand new introduction of the new Game Plus feature, but also the brand new assault actions, which do let you bring some of the characters that were protagonists from previous games. I'm going to, again, try to overlay some of those images on the screen right there as you guys get to look at the brand new trailer. If you're brand new to my channel, though, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.